South Africa have this habit of blowing games, but boy, did they blow that one.
It's one of the most amazing turnarounds in cricket history.
Heartbreaking.
If there ever was a sporting image that spoke 1,000 words, it's this one. At one end of the frame is Adam Gilchrist, who has just effected a run-out that shattered South African dreams. Then a sea of celebrating yellow before you get to the other side. Allan Donald, broken, the man who didn't run. Out of the frame is Lance Klusener, the man who had been at the centre of the madness. Looking at this image, it's hard to believe South Africa hadn't lost this match, that it was a tie, which felt worse than a loss. Australia had scraped into the 1999 ICC World Cup final, just like they'd scraped into the semis themselves.
There'd been that weird dynamic between Steve Waugh and Shane Warne. There was a sense of a camp divided about the Australians early in that tournament. They needed to win 6 consecutive games to make it through to the end, and lo and behold, they started to do it. But this was the one they absolutely had to win.
South Africa, on the other hand, had looked dominant, despite a loss to Zimbabwe in the group stages.
You know, we had always been up against Australia throughout that sort of 90s period where they felt we were the side to beat. We had set levels and standards.
Australia batted first and things were not going according to plan.
Very awkward batting conditions in the first half of the day. Australia went 4 down early. Waugh and Bevan got together. I remember there was a period of about 5 to 10 overs where it just seemed as though it was almost impossible to score. It was like test match conditions in a one-day game.
Steve Waugh and Michael Bevan stood firm, but Australia are bowled out for 213, with Shaun Pollock and Allan Donald taking 9 wickets between them. The Proteas sense they have a real shot at glory here.
We had got off to a very good start with the bat. We had bowled particularly well, got off to a very good start, and they're always a bowler light.
Gibbs and Kirsten come out and just rock and roll the Australian opening attack. They got 48 off the first 12 overs.
South Africa reached 48 in 12 overs before Waugh turns to Warne. Rift or no rift, he needed his main man to deliver.
And Warne, once again, cometh the hour, cometh the man, came in and ripped it, the first ball, just as he had with the ball of the century in 1993, just to show that he still had it. Once again, big swerving leg break, hits the top of off, gets rid of Gibbs, sends a tremor through the entire ground, sends a tremor through the South African dressing room. Warne runs down the pitch with his eyes spinning counterclockwise, and you can't hear him, but you can see him mouthing, "Come on, come on." The Australian team gathering around him, and there was a sense of the camps coming together, and whatever personal differences were in that Australian group, they loved winning cricket matches more than anything else.
Warne finishes with 4 for 29. Apart from Gibbs, he's picked up the wickets of Kirsten, Hansie Cronje and Jack Callis. He's broken South Africa's back, but there are a couple of twists still left to play out.
But I'd never played in a match where every 5 overs there was a swing in momentum for us, whether we were batting or bowling.
Lance Klusener had been this kind of sting in the tail. He'd been the dominant player in that South African order, batting in the bottom half. You just couldn't mess with him. He was irresistible.
38 required of 5 overs becomes 9 of 6 balls. With 1 wicket in hand, Klusener smashes Damien Fleming's first ball through point for 4. The second is dispatched through the covers for 4. The scores are level. South Africa need 1 run of 4 balls to win. Australia need a wicket. A tie will see them progress.
You figured the way that Lance Klusener was hitting the ball that it was just, if it wasn't this ball, it was going to be the next ball.
Ball 3 is a dot. On the 4th delivery, South Africa's worst nightmare unfolds in slow motion.
That sense of almost watching a car crash happen in the final over, where Klusener, with the scores tied, goes for a run. Donald doesn't respond. The return comes in from War to Damien Fleming, who rolls it. Inspired, spontaneous choice of medium to get the ball from one end to the other, and Gilchrist takes the bails off.
Having said that, when it got so late in the over, why the hell they didn't have a conversation, Allan Donald and Lance Klusener, why they didn't have a conversation, sort out what they were going to do with the running between wickets is just beyond me. But you know, that was just a typical South African mess up.
It was truly a remarkable match, you know, and I'd never personally experienced such pressure, because you knew so much was at stake. Nothing was said, and to this day nothing's ever really been said. We all failed in the search of another run, because that's what would have got us the match and a place in the final.
South Africans may not agree, but in terms of what was at stake and the dramatic finish, this really was a perfect one-dayer, a match made in heaven, so to speak. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave your comments in the comment section below. Click on the bell icon for notifications.